watching Fintech Wave.
What's up, everybody? This is Ken from Fintech Wave. I hope you're well. I'm back with another video. I know it's been about a week or so, but I've been watching what's been going on in the market, and it's really a whole lot of the same old same. There are a couple of new developments, and those are the things that I'm going to talk about. Firstly, I have this CoinDesk article talking about Jay Clayton, always the bearer of good news, right? Talking about regulations coming to Bitcoin. He says that he's speaking as a citizen during this interview. But, I'm just going to read a little snip from it. In an interview with CNBC Squawk Box posted Thursday, Clayton said Bitcoin had the status as a non-security at the SEC, but this does not mean it should not be regulated. And then, so he went on to talk about Bitcoin and how it will most likely be regulated in some way. He's always been saying that. And in the article, he says, I'm speaking as a citizen. This is the former head of the SEC for 8 years saying, oh, yeah, but, I'm just speaking as a citizen. Okay, well, to me, I take that as writing on the wall. This is someone who's in the inner circle of people saying regulations are coming. I don't think that's something anyone should take lightly. So on that note, I just want to say, again, if your crypto is sitting on an exchange, you probably want to get it off that exchange. I mean, if you had a bag of gold, would you give it to somebody and say, hold this for me until I come back? I mean, the person's not going to be there when you return. You don't want to go check your crypto on Sunday night one night and see whatever. You've been stacking up crypto for 5 years and you got some nice balance. And then you go to check it the Monday night and you get a 404 error. Sorry, that page cannot be found. Can you imagine? I mean, aside from regulations or the government intervention or anything like that, some of these sites just pull up stakes and just disappear in the middle of the night. Look at Mt. Gox. So by all means, purchase, but I would recommend custodying your own crypto. And in the last video, I talked about different ways you might want to research that you can do that. There are hardware wallets you can acquire, which to me is the most sensible option to custody your crypto. And the cool thing about a hardware wallet, like a Ledger Nano, for example, as long as you have your secret seed phrase, your private keys, or what have you, as long as you have that information properly stored, if, heaven forbid, you lost the actual device, you can always get a new device. And with the private keys, you can reacquire your crypto on the new device, which will render the old device ineffective. Wherever it is, you're on the new device now. So I recommend a private storage device such as a hardware wallet. So the first story is Jay Clayton, who is no longer the head of the SEC, but someone who is in the inner circle, saying, hey, Bitcoin is not being sued by the SEC, but don't think it won't be regulated. Even though he's not in office right now, I mean, to me, that's all I need to hear coming from someone who was the former head of the SEC. So that's really all I have to say on that. And other big news this week was Visa has begun to process crypto transactions on the Ethereum blockchain. This is why we saw a spike in Ethereum the last couple of days, went as high as 2,100, maybe 20 or 2,130 or 40 or something like that. And then naturally the weekend kicked in full swing and the weekend sell-off, which almost always happens, took place. So right now Ethereum is sitting more like 2,000 and a little bit. Okay, 2082. But I'm expecting right now it's Monday evening here in Southeast Asia. So it's just 9:25 Monday morning in the US. So the markets are just opening. I expect to have this video edited up in 24 hours. So I would say by the beginning of trading on Tuesday morning, the 6th of April in the West is when this information will be available. So by that time, I think Ethereum should be 2,100 again. Profit taking really didn't knock it down that bad. So with that piece of news about Visa processing crypto transactions on Ethereum blockchain, that's pretty big. And what happens is, whether we have good news or bad news, with the fact that Ethereum was added to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange recently, with the futures trading on Ethereum, any bad news is magnified. And by the same token, any good news is also magnified. So aside from the true worth of the token, you get all this speculation going on that could drive the price of Ethereum up this week to 22, 2,300. I would not be surprised. But be careful jumping into Ethereum right now. There's hype involved. There was a big story about Visa. I mean, last weekend or the weekend before, you could have picked up Ethereum for like $1,500. So proceed with caution on that because there's a lot of hype. It's going to be a lot of volatility in Ethereum this week. Bitcoin is sitting healthy at, 58,000, resistance at 60,000. But right now, like I said, things are in kind of a lull. There was a whole bunch of big news recently. Coinbase was talking about an IPO. eToro said, well, we're doing an IPO too. And Coinbase was like, okay, well, maybe we won't do our IPO yet. I think it might have had something to do with they were waiting for XRP. I was hoping that was the case, but it could also be that they might not want like the wow factor or the punch of their IPO to be diminished by another IPO taking place around the same time. So all of this hype news, but then, there's been kind of a lull lately. Everybody's waiting for something to happen, and this litigation in the United States has really got the kibosh on things right now. So things are kind of stagnant. Going down this list, the one good thing is XRP has reached 70 cents. That's nice. But to me, that's not even exciting, honestly. It did that right before Jay Clayton came with this noise in December. So we're right where we were back in December. So we had to wait 3.5 months, and they haven't reached a decision on this thing. So it's still a waiting game. So all I can say to you right now is protect your crypto, see the writing on the wall, and, don't leave it sitting on an exchange because, those are not your keys. I mean, it's not your keys. It's not your crypto. So do the sensible thing and custody your own crypto assets. Pay attention to the regulations that will be coming down the pipe for your jurisdiction and make sure you protect yourself. Crypto is the kind of thing where you want to keep a low key in general. I wouldn't go around broadcasting to people that I have this crypto and that crypto. Crypto is the wave. It's the next thing, whether they try to slow it down or not. The media can be manipulated so easily. And media has a way of swaying popular opinion one way or another very, very fast. Whether a situation is true or not, you get up on social media or the news or whatever it is, and you get your word in first, it can be very damaging, or it can be very helpful depending on whatever the word is. So then therein lies the volatility in a lot of cases. So, try to avoid being in a situation when it's like, damn, I had $1,000. I threw it on some crypto thinking it was going to move. And now I'm down $200. It happens. Financial markets are like that. So you never want to invest more than you can afford to at the time. Maybe take a dollar cost averaging approach where if you have $1,000, put up 200, see what happens. If it drops, put up another 200. Now you own more and your average price goes down. There's ways to play it. Don't just jump in headlong, especially not right now because there's just too much volatility. The news, and the thing is, whether things are true fundamentally or not, news can be manipulated to sway the markets, as we saw with the whole Wall Street bets thing and the GameStop fiasco. Forget about what the underlying security is worth. People with access to the right channels can make it worth on the market whatever they want it to be worth at a certain time. So if you're someone who's chasing the market every minute, hoping for, I wouldn't recommend approaching crypto with that mindset. I would say if you got a little money and you want to invest, research a coin or two. I don't want to make recommendations to you because I'm not a financial advisor, but there's plenty of places to get information on where you might want to invest $1,000 if you have it, or $500, depending on what your budget is. And take a long-term approach, at least like a 1 year, 2 year, 5 year approach, right? If you're going to be thinking you're going to jump in the market and day trade, you really need to know what you're doing. All right. And before I go, I just want to say, if anybody ever gets on my channel talking about in the comments, talking about send me crypto, there's a lot of frauds out there. People like to clone people's YouTube channel avatars and say, hey, this is Fintech Wave. I haven't seen it happen to me yet, but I would never ask you to send me any crypto. I don't do giveaways. I don't run those sorts of promotions. So if you ever see anything like that associated with Fintech Wave, it's a scam. Don't participate in it. Okay? This is Ken from Fintech Wave. Thanks for checking out this latest episode. If you like the content, please hit like and subscribe. Shout out to all the people who've subscribed already. I'm going to try to keep the quality content coming on Fintech. I appreciate you. And there's a link in the description. The Fintech Wave theme is now an NFT. See you next time, everybody. Take care.